My name is Ryan Bookout. I'm from Hudson, Colorado, and I'm 30. I didn't really have a choice. My father is one of the best hands I've ever known, and I had the opportunity of being at his right side ever since I was, born, obviously. But it was my dad and I most of my life. My mom left when I was real young, so it was he and I, and we moved around a lot and trained a lot of horses and got to see a lot of different training ways and how they did different things. And you pick that up. You have to be open-minded when you travel around a lot. You can't be closed-minded and say, this is how I'm going to do it, because you go different places and you see different ways that they do it, and you have to contort and reform. So being a cowboy is just something that I guarantee you take anybody and take them for a month what we do, they'll want to do it the rest of their lives. It's just fun. You're open, you're free, you get to do what you want to do. So, being a cowboy is the best thing in the world. I just wish it paid better. We work a lot harder than a lot of people that get paid a lot more. Just kind of fate, it brought me to it, where I got wind of a thing about Real American Cowboy, and something snapped in my head where, there's a lot of shows out nowadays where not those titles are in it. Real American Cowboy, where there's a lot of stuff out there that doesn't show real American cowboys doing their thing. Where I thought maybe this time will be different, where it can show people really doing stuff that we normally do and we don't get credit for. And every day, we may not go to a 40-hour week, but we still bust our tails a lot harder than people that do 40-hour weeks. And so it's good to get that recognition out there. And agriculture is kind of dying right now, and it needs to be brought back in the main state, and everybody needs like a second hand on the dinner table, where people need to think about ranchers and why they're eating and all that we bring them and all that, and how much hard work we put into their backyard horses, or their using horses, or their cows that they eat, or the lettuce that they have, all that stuff that we do that people are forgetting about. I think that we need to bring recognition to that and get it a lot back into the mainstream. Because even though people say they're vegan and all that, they're still eating farmers' product. And they forget about all that. And the farmer right now is dying. The water and all that, and they're not getting enough government financing, and all that is just hard for these guys. I see this every day with these people around my area, and it's just hard for them. Unless you've got all kinds of money, you're dying left and right. You see them dying out. So I want to try and get the name out there a little bit and kind of make it interesting again. And have fun. I want to have fun. I always have fun everywhere I go, and we're going to have fun. I talk to a lot of guys, and it seems like they're fun guys, so it should be a good time. Be interesting. I would say just because I'm raised in the aspect of not just show and not just being a cowboy on the weekends. You can be a cowboy and not have to dress in the whole nines. It just depends on where you're raised. And if you feel comfortable in who you are, it doesn't matter what you wear and what you do and what you listen to. If you're handy, I've seen a lot of guys with tattoos all over their body, and there's no way that you're thinking these guys aren't that handy. And they get on. That just shows you not to be closed-minded. And see these guys that look like bikers get on a horse and just be control, and just like they were Ray Hunt sitting up in the middle of them, and you're thinking, wow. That's a good thing I didn't just close this guy out and thinking that, oh, there's no way. He don't got a cowboy hat on and boots. He's not a cowboy. Where I've learned that there's kids out there and guys out there that are just as handy as you are. It doesn't matter what they look like. But being a cowboy is just a state of mind of where it's just like martial arts. It has a history. There's people that have laid foundation for us. And I think a lot of kids forgot that, where the people that in the 1900s, early 1900s and 1800s came through and busted their tail, and now we're coming and getting on Colts and saying we're cowboys. I don't think any one of us here can be a cowboy that there was back in the day. They started young and they were young, but it was a lot harder back then than it is now. Just because we have a lot more material and easier stuff, but I'd say that being a cowboy is just keeping your roots and respecting the person that taught you and respecting the people around you, because you never know what you're going to deal with. There's no reason to look down on somebody because they don't look like they know what they're doing. So, that's being a cowboy, just openly engaging in all of that. Because it's not just being a Christian cowboy, but just being open and taking everybody in and accepting everybody for who they are. I think that's being a cowboy. just another chapter in my life. I've had so many different chapters, just weird things, where, I mean, living from every state from California to Arkansas in between, and just this is another thing that I'm going through. And there's going to be so many new opportunities in my life, and there's just one footprint I want to put in, and have some sort of documentation so I can show my kids, and just something that I wish I could go back in the 70s and see my dad, how he was, and there was nothing like that. So now I think, well, maybe this will be some sort of way that my kids will see me when I was 30, It'll stand forever, I hope. I am Ryan Bookout, and I am the Real American Cowboy.